0-0 is the only score you're worried about? Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
This is taken at his 4. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll look to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's 3rd down. And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's 3rd down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the flag is for roughing the kicker, a big 15-yard penalty.
And I'm not sure that was the time to go all out after the kicker. Plenty of time left in this game.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals getting set to go. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
That run is what defenses don't like about dealing with Adrian Peterson. His ability to drop his shoulder and run through contact.
And he's amazing at keeping those strong legs going, isn't he?
For him, no run is ever truly over. I mean, he's actually not even convinced that when they blow the whistle, he's actually down. That's how he finishes runs in a big way.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. A great read, and it's picked off. Now, after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets a tone for the offense.
So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. He'll drop to throw. And that's complete to Jeffrey. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
Every time I watch a Lodi Nada play, I just wonder, how do you move this man? And then when he shows his movement ability, look out, quarterbacks.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. On fourth down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
This is going to sound a little strange, but that was a really nice effort, because he broke a tackle and almost sprang free, but it still ended up with a loss of yardage. The defense won that battle.
They'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on third. Taking it about the 16. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot where they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up the 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now a stoppage here, as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Jeffrey with a catch left side. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. And this time they go underneath for a simple pitch and catch.
And not only do you get the pitch and catch, Brandon, but you're able to keep the receiver moving when you hit him with the drag route.
Kelsey out in the slot right. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive back, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. And it's complete to Antonio Gates. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory? With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go on the ground. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And this one is incomplete. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
The left side throw complete to Adams. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. See if they stay on the ground for second down. The play action fake. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Caught on the right side by Adams. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produced.
Didn't get much more balance than this. Big time run, big time pass.
A 1-2 combination looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll look to throw here on first down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards there on the pickup. And the Bengals are going to have a first down. And quickly they get to the line. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Green 39! Green 39!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well, and most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
He gets it left side to Johnson, and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. And the offense in a great spot. It's first and goal from the 3. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal.
You know that old expression, it's not my night. it hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly further your advantage, but it's been a tough.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So they're back at the 7 now for 3rd and goal. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
So a field goal here, they're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he will take this one all the way back inside the 35-yard line. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Five wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. They'll set up a throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the D gets the sack on first, and now it brings up 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran corner, D'Angelo Hall. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
So we've reached halftime here, and hello, I guess Larry's halftime show was buttoned through. And we are moving on and ready to go for the 3rd quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. 10 yards still left on 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And some room to roam now. And he slides to avoid the hit. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 30. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the Bengals take possession. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because that's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
A 10th carry now for Peterson. Fighting through, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. They run again on first down. Peterson. And Peterson, what happened? He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
He'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. A good pickup there of 22.
Do you get the sense, Brandon, that people are trying to retire Antonio Gates? They keep thinking this is almost the end of the line, and then he keeps making catches like the one we just saw there.
He's the old reliable, you're right, just one of 9 players in the NFL with 100 or more touchdowns. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And that'll be good enough for a Cincinnati first. And now the offense operates in the red zone.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Back to the ground, Peterson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he'll get nothing out of that one. So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the first down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2. He'll look to throw. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off that lead.
And now you put the pressure on your defense, who didn't particularly play all that well in the first half. But they're going to need to step it up here and make some plays if these guys are going to have any chance.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
Now they try the right side here. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got his man on the out route. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Fresh set of downs here. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Kelsey out in the slot right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Trying to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. It's a first-round pick, Keanu Neal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right.
Adrian Peterson off to the races. He's at the 30, 10, 5, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Adrian Peterson, 97 yards. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. And he pushed it right. It's no good. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Here's the option going right, and he is going to lose yardage here. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. So certainly not what they were hoping for, especially on the road. They're started, forced to the locker room, and they'll hand things over to their backup quarterback and task him with preserving this lead. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. And this is going to be incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And that brings up 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now. He's been terrific so far.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys always taught find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
They start the drive with Peterson. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was looking for Antonio Gates that time. And it's 3rd down.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. They come up in an offset eye. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the veteran corner, D'Angelo Hall. The Bengals getting set to go. And not great starting field position here for the offense. They come out here in the eye. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He was trying to get it to AP out of the backfield, and it's 3rd down. To throw again. And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Barthon for the extra point. And oh my goodness, this is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field.
Here we go.
They go back to the air here after the INT. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
I really don't know where to go with this one. He caught the pass, but in the opposite direction towards his own end zone. That's not one you get every game.
Here we go now. Boom, landed. Detroit, Detroit. No. Check, Patriots.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to launch this and got his man complete. And that one results in 35 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily.
And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Second down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on third? We'll see. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Kelsey out in the slot right. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And down inside the 15 he goes.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they thought they could do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, not only have they imposed their will against you, you're almost powerless to figure out what you're doing there, but you got to keep your spirit up at the same time, and they're taking that too.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And they're going to go soft on the corners. They'll run it now out of the gun. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
And, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet.